Since prehistory, houses were built one log, stone, shingle at a time, in the very spot where the house would live. But with the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century, a few entrepreneurs had another idea. They came up with a way to pre-cut and package the parts for the entire house and ship them to the home site. The era of the catalog house was born. Sears Roebuck was the leader. From 1908 to 1940, they sold more than 70,000.
And those homes were really quite good, quite well built, and there are clubs today of Sears homes owners that still exist and still make a big issue of the fact that it's a Sears home because it's a quality home.
Mike Connor continues the tradition. His company sells about 50 homes a year from a catalog.
Everyone understood for a long time that somehow or other dragging raw materials out to a job site and trying to construct a home really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It makes about as much sense as going to an auto parts store, buying parts and putting a car together in your driveway. It just makes a lot more sense to do it in a controlled environment. They understood that. There's much more precision to the whole process. So I think the lesson to be learned is that a factory setting really makes a lot of sense for building a house.
Many of the original Sears homes are still standing. In fact, some people don't even know they're living in one. So Tommy and I are going to go look at a Sears home that was built in 1910. So Tommy, what do you think of these pre-cut homes?
Well, I think that was a pretty good idea, Norm. I mean, if you think about it, they're cutting all the pieces off-site. But the key point here is you have to make sure that when that house arrives on site, whoever put that foundation in, that foundation has to be straight, level, and true, or all of those pieces aren't going to fit right.
Right. Well, we know if the pieces are cut correctly, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go smoothly. I mean, it takes skill.
Absolutely. I would think that you'd need at least 1 or 2 key men on site to know and make sure that the pieces are going together correctly.
Right, but we could use a lot more of them.
Absolutely.
Well, Tommy, we're in Grafton, Massachusetts, about an hour west of Boston. And this is the house we want to look at.
I like it. It looks pretty nice.
Well, you know, around 100 years ago, a Mr. Chase paid something in the neighborhood of $1,000 for this Sears catalog house.
$1,000 for the whole house?
That's right.
No, we couldn't buy the front windows for a house like this today for $1,000.
That's right. Well, it was model 167, and the style was called Maytown.
I look at it real quick, and it looks like a little bit of a Greek revival and also a shingle-style Victorian.
Right. You know, driving down the street in this neighborhood, you would never know that this was a kit house.
No, it blends right into the neighborhood. Also looks like it's pretty good. Built pretty good. Look at the roof is nice and straight. The corners are still straight. Built it well.
Let's check it out.
Okay.
Covered porch to enjoy the neighborhood.
I like a covered porch. Oh, this is a great entryway.
Stained glass panel, look at this.
Oh, yeah, I bet you that's original to the house. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Nice stairway.
They use good materials in these houses. Hard pine for the treads, beautifully turned balusters, and look at the detail in this newel post.
Very nice. Oak. I like the floors. Look like beech to me. Didn't be finished, but very nice condition.
And the trim, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't skimpy. It was nice trim. Originally, it might have been clear finish, like a hard pine, but that's pretty dark. These days, people want to have bright interior trim, so they paint it white, but they still have the detail of the moldings.
Right, and if you look at the seams, none of the joints have opened up because this old growth wood is nice and tight and it doesn't expand and contract like today's wood.
Don't have to caulk the cracks when you paint the trim.
Let's take a look in the basement. Oh, look at this, workshop.
I know, there's tools everywhere down there.
Well, you know what I noticed that's unusual is the height of the ceiling in this basement.
Well, it also gives us a chance to look at some of the structure because we know that's important.
Oh yeah, look at that, no plywood here.
No, it looks like square edge boards, random width, that's the subfloor.
Yeah, and 2x10 joists, those are pretty strong and straight. Now, houses of this period and earlier, when built on site, would be built with tools just like this, hand saws, wood planes, and bit braces for drilling holes.
Right, but not this house. This was a catalog house. Now, in the mid-1800s was the Industrial Revolution, and machines started being made, and by the 20th century, they had machines big enough they could cut all these pieces of material to exact length, load them on a train or a truck, and bring them to the site, and then put everything together.
Pretty amazing. And the homeowner was responsible for making sure that the foundation was ready for all those pieces, and when they got here, then they put the puzzle together.
Right, and apparently everything fit together.
Well, that's what they say.
So that's the way factory-built homes were done until the Second World War. After the war came the era of the tract-built home. A process where hundreds of houses filled vacant farmland on an industrial scale. But the idea of building a home from a catalog was not forgotten. Well, Tom, this is the 21st century version of a catalog home. The homeowners picked the style from a book, and it was created by the same company that designed the Harbs home. And as you can see, they specialize in period homes, and this one's a colonial. What do you think?
I really like the detail, Norm. I mean, look at the wide corner boards. I love the rake trim on the garage, that beautiful overhang on front, and carpet gutters, and those windows are beautiful.
Right. Now for me, the exterior details really make a house, and they did a great job with this one.
Yeah.
Let's take a look inside.
Love to.
Center entrance right into a nice foyer.
Oh yeah, this is beautiful. The dual post catches my eye right off the top. I like the fact that they made the grill for the hot air system to match the floor. Nice touch. And look up here now, you can see how they panelized underneath the stairway to the 3rd floor and underneath the balusters all the way around. Wow. Really great.
And look at this arched opening, all made out of wood panels, nice moldings. And it's amazing that the stair and these panels and this opening was all fabricated in the factory and then installed here. Now that house we looked at that was built 100 years ago was pretty nice, but today catalog homes have really stepped it up.
Well, they sure have.
So over here they have a nice home office.
Oh, this is really nice. And look at this coffered ceiling. Now, I've built a lot of these coffered ceiling, and cutting piece by piece and assembling it on site is very time consuming. But if I could get all these pieces pre-cut and all I had to do was assemble it on site, I'd save a lot of time.
You sure would. So Tommy, here in the space over the garage, we get to see some of the bones of this house.
Yeah, I love looking at this stuff.
You know, the house that we looked at that was built 100 years ago, some of the materials showed up cut to length, but a lot of it had to be cut and assembled on site.
Right.
Here it's a little bit different. If you look here on this wall, there's a joint right here. So there are 2 panels that make up this wall. They were built in the factory and sheathed and just set in place with a crane.
Right. Now those panels are pretty easy to ship, but a roof system like this, you can't ship or panelize like that. So they cut the rafters individually, and then the builder puts them up on site and then sheathes the roof.
Right. So that still saves a lot of time. And by the look of the joints, they do a pretty good job.
I think they do a very nice job.
So Tommy, do you think that this method of building is the future of our business?
You know, with today's technology and computer-driven saws, I think it may be.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.